Hey, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Dunkin' K-Cup packs.
Dunkin' Donuts uses them.
In less than 60 seconds.
Folgers uses them. And you probably use them. These single-serve coffee pods known as K-Cups are everywhere, available in practically every flavor of your favorite coffee, bringing shops like Starbucks into your own home. Every year, nearly 10 billion K-Cups are sold around the world, so many they could circle the globe more than 12 times. But one of the men who invented this multi-billion-dollar phenomenon now says he wishes he never had.
If I had turned back the clock and looked at what happened and said, this will be a problem 20 years from now, I would not have done it that way. I would have done it a different way.
So what's the problem? It turns out, even though they're plastic, they're not recyclable.
At what point did you realize that this was a plastic that was not
recyclable?
Was non-recyclable?
Oh, day one.
John Sylvan was barely in his 20s when he and a friend concocted a prototype of the single-serve coffee idea in his kitchen in Massachusetts.
I don't think people thought about recycling when they made products back then.
In fact, the thought didn't hit him until a few years ago.
I would say when I started to see them showing up in grocery stores. Every person in line would have these big boxes of K-Cups. I said, wow, that's insane. But you could actually take pretty much every football stadium in the United States and fill them up from top to bottom every year with these things.
This type of plastic is a composite type of plastic that can't necessarily be recycled with the other normal plastics because it's engineered for certain properties.
Christopher Katz is an organic chemistry and environmental science professor at the University of Massachusetts, Boston. He blames the waste on the type of plastic the inventors chose to create the K-Cup.
They will take several hundred to maybe even several thousand years to degrade, and there's a certain point where these plastics will begin to leach into our water systems.
But that plastic keeps the coffee grounds airtight while also withstanding high heat, high pressure, and very hot water. While the K-Cup is not entirely recyclable, the professor says there is a way.
Try and remove the foil part of this filter.
To recycle some of the parts.
There's even some paper in there which can also either go into your garden or to your compost bin.
But you have to pull it all apart.
I don't know that the average person would take the time to do that.
Even for those who are willing to separate the foil, compost the coffee grounds, the chances a local recycling facility will actually accept these kinds of cups are slim. In fact, this kind of plastic here, only recyclable at a handful of cities in Canada, which is why every year millions of these K-Cups end up at transfer stations like this one, where they are processed like any other piece of trash on their way to America's already overwhelmed landfills.
It's shooting! Run! Run!
Depicting a monster made out of K-Cups scorching the earth and spaceships using K-Cups like bullets shooting at people, this action-packed thriller dramatizes the concern that K-Cups are destroying our environment. Made by an activist group in Nova Scotia, the video has racked up more than 700,000 views on YouTube since January.
Please, no more!
I loved it. I loved it. It's great. It's a good point. Again, it's a problem, you fix it,
Inside the K-Cup inventor's Massachusetts home, you won't find a Keurig machine or a single K-Cup. He says the recycling problem is an easy fix. But in a statement to Al Jazeera, Keurig Green Mountain says it has a target to have 100% of the K-Cup packs recyclable by 2020.
I don't think it should take 5 years. It should not take 5 years to fix that problem.
But that's not his problem now. He sold his share of the company years ago. So is this a crisis of conscience after Sylvan cashed in on the idea? He says he sold his share of the company in 1997 for $50,000, long before the Keurig K-Cups caught on, though he did buy some shares of it later on.
You made significant money, for sure, if you bought as low as around $3 or $4 a share and then sold at $140 a share, right? I mean, that's fair to say.
Oh, do the math.
Would you create this again if you could?
Yes. Because, again, I can't see 20 years into the future, and if I could turn back the past 20 years, then I might not, but, at the time, you're 25 years old, you want to do something, and you do it. And it's like, yeah. Would I do it better? Yes, I would do it better.